Hello, everybody. People often ask, what are the factors that propel a local business to the top of Google? Whether that's the local pack or the localized organic results. Well, today I had the good fortune of attending the Local Search Summit, and Darren Shaw of Whitespark went over his massive presentation of the key factors. Now, I think of myself as a popularizer, of a person who takes all of that esoteric information and distills it into actionable things for my clients and my readers to do. So I'm not going to give you all the factors. I will have links to the full presentation from Darren. I'm going to give you some deliverables about what you can actually influence quickly. So let's get started. So I've entitled this Local SEO Ranking Factors, a different way to look at them, because I want to drill into sort of a, let's cut to the chase here. Let's get at stuff we can actually impact. And I do have links for you to the Local Search Summit and Darren Shaw and Whitespark and all those great things and the presentation. But let's just kind of drill into this at a basic level. So first and foremost, what is local SEO? So I would define local SEO, local search engine optimization, as the art and science of getting your company either into the local pack or into the local organic results. So for instance, if you take a search like Brownsville, Texas, accident attorney, right? So you've got a city name in there and then some keywords, and you'll see here that the results returned are the local pack, positions 1, 2, 3, and then the localized organic positions, 1 through 10. And that also goes, of course, for a short tail search, right? So if you just do a short tail search, Google's going to look at your location, it's going to give you the local pack, and it's going to give you localized results based on your location. So local SEO is the art and science of influencing the local pack and the localized organic positions. Simple enough. And I have some other examples you can click through. Now, what are the local SEO ranking factors? So here's where I think things go a little bit off the rails. People who are, the geniuses and the esoteric cognoscenti in an industry, sometimes I think they get lost in the weeds. And I want to make some distinctions that I think will help you. So first and foremost, one of the biggest factors is what's called proximity to the searcher. So if you take out your phone and you drive around your local community, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you look for pizza, you will see different results as you drive around because Google prioritizes businesses that are nearby to you. Now, you as the vendor can't really influence this, short of opening more locations. So there's not much you can do about it. It's a very important factor, however. It does have a downstream impact on advertising. So just kind of understand that there are factors you can influence and there are factors that you cannot influence. So why worry about the things you can't influence, right? Now, within factors you can influence, the first one is the business category on Google My Business. So Google My Business, which you can get to by going to business.google.com. That's where you're going to get to your locations, business.google.com, and you can, go through the rigmarole there. That's where you can influence your category. And when you look on your listings, you'll see the category. So that first category is often shown on the search. So you want to choose a category that relates to the keyword that you want to rank for. And you can select, I believe, up to 5. So the first one is the most important one, and then you want to select 3 or 4 relevant categories in GMB. Simple enough. Google My Business category. The second issue is what's called keywords in your business name. So if you do a search like sushi restaurant in Tulsa, right? So sushi, if the term appears in the name of the business, that is a huge help to ranking. So when you create, think about what's actionable. When you create a Google My Business listing, don't call yourself Yokozuna Yale. Call yourself Yokozuna Yale Sushi and Japanese Food. To the extent that you can get your relevant keywords in your name, they really help. Now, I'm not saying be overly spammy, but it's a clear and easy ranking factor is keywords in the business name. Now, the third factor is links to your business. So you want to get local businesses, local organizations to link to you, and these influence whether you show in the local pack or whether you show in the organic. So, easy enough, it's a link building problem, right? That's your third thing. Now, again, number 4, here's where I get a little bit annoyed at the cognoscente, right? The business owner needs to know what can he or she influence in a systematic, easy way. And this is, down the list a bit, but local reviews. So the more reviews you have in general, the more likely you are to rank. That's sort of point 1. Second, consumers look at the number of reviews as a signal. So the more reviews, the better you look to consumers. Sort of third, they look at the star rating. So all of these have 4 or 5 stars. So you as a business need to have a review solicitation strategy. You can use a service like GatherUp. You can do a lot of easy things, just simply asking for them. To the extent that those reviews have keywords in them, they really help. But the long and short of it is create a review solicitation factor. Now, there's a whole bunch of other factors you can go look at, and I have a link to his presentation, and he's going to come out with the 50-some, issue and whether citations matter and blah, 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 blah. But I think for most businesses, sign up for Google My Business, put yourself in your top category in 3 or 4 closely related categories, try to get keywords in your business name, work on links to your business. 3 and 4 you can actually work on. And most importantly, work on customer reviews. They are the critical factor that you can actually influence. Now, once you get done with that, all of the traditional SEO issues apply. You need to know your keywords. You need to have keywords in your title tags. You need to have relevant content. You need to have a blog. You need to have, all the things that are in my book on SEO, all of the very much conventional wisdom applies. You really cannot rank if you don't have a robust website that plays the regular SEO game well. So don't think of it as local SEO or SEO. You want to do both of these. So these local SEO factors are incredibly important, and they are things that you can work on. Now, finally, I want to talk a little bit about advertising, right? I think this is kind of the dirty little secret, and this is where I think a lot of the experts, who I have a lot of respect for, they're very compartmentalized. This is one of my biggest sort of strategies for businesses. Don't become compartmentalized. There are people that only do local SEO, organic, only do advertising, only do Facebook, only do Twitter, only do YouTube. I think that's really stupid. You need to have some diversity in your skill set, and certainly as a small business owner or marketer. So there's a dirty little secret that is nowhere in this presentation. You need to advertise. I mean, let's just face the reality of where we are today. So you can rank in a particular zip code, and you cannot rank nearby. Now, there are tools you can use. I'm really, one of the tools I just absolutely love for this, there's a tool called Mobile Moxie, and I have a paid account to it. And if you go and look at this tool, I think they allow 3 or 4 searches a day. You can take, any state, right? And you can put in the city, right? And you don't have to leave, who wants to leave their house, right? It's COVID-19. You can put in the zip code, which is a good proxy for driving around the city, and you can put in a term, and you can see how this varies as you move around the town. Now, here's sort of the takeaway, because remember that one of the local factors is proximity to the searcher, which you can't influence. For all intents and purposes, you need to advertise, especially on your short tails, because you're just not going to get there any other way. So this is, Google's kind of got us by the cojones, right? You must advertise on your short tail searches for local. And you can see that by using a tool like Mobile Moxie and just go around the zip codes in your town and see where you rank and where you don't rank. So, I would sort of conclude by thinking about, there's Google ads, Google local service ads that are coming out. I would not look at this like SEO or advertise. I would look at it like SEO and advertise. And I think this is really a blind spot in the way the industry works, because the people that do organic don't do ads, and the people that do ads don't do organic. And you want to make those work together. And the key problem is the short tail search. Somebody that just puts in accident attorney and they don't put in the city. And then that's going to vary, whether you're in zip code 94536 or 94555 or, 94637, whatever the zip codes are in your city. So that's a good way to think about it. So wrap this up. So local SEO matters a lot. It's the local pack and the local organic. There's a bunch of factors. Don't get lost in the weeds. Choose your category, choose your business name, get local links. Most importantly, work on your customer reviews. Do a little traditional SEO for your website, and then think of advertising as a complement to your local SEO strategy. Now, you can go down the weeds into the 50 factors. God bless you. But the top 3 or 4 are where all of the return on investment is for any local business. So hopefully this helps you. Go check out the conference. I'm sure they'll redo it next year if you're watching this later. Check out Whitespark. They're really, really awesome. I keep my eye on these people. I learn a lot from them, and they're really worth checking out. But sometimes we can get lost in the weeds. So thank you for watching.